Hey, there's his hat. Complete with the arrow.
Thanks for showing us back, partner. We can take it from here. Well, would you look at that?
Wonder if we could take the flag or
Think I'd be seeing old
whatever that
Jesse
is.
again. I'm keeping this arrowhead as a good luck charm. And who knows? Maybe some collector out there'd be interested in acquiring the arrowhead that nearly wiped out Gentleman Jake.
Híjole. Is he always like this?
Yep.
I wonder how things will go for the Otham now that they have firearms.
Well enough, I hope. Provided they don't point them at us.
Well said. Oh, I can take this, maybe.
The flag Stokes was carrying.
Pity it's in such a sorry state.
I shouldn't leave this here.
It's
Oh, we
good
got
to
the
see
flag, at
someone
least.
who respects their country.
Fort Beaumont's parade flag looking worse for wear.
Guess we'll find out what we do with it later. Meantime, back to the lab, I guess.
You're quite certain you know what you're doing?
Oh, now you ask him?
Everything to me. And stand far, far back.
Oh, there was no question in that last part. Nice.
Impressive work there, Phil.
Gracias.
And an explosion will certainly liven up your article. Eh, Harley?
Will we actually get to write something at the end of this game?
Well, slap my behind and call me Betsy.
I'd rather not.
Not sure what I was expecting to find, but it wasn't this.
It has been completely ransacked.
Still, there's gotta be some indication of where Clark took his money. Let's take a look around. But watch yourselves. No telling what any of these doohickeys might be capable of.
Do I want to know what's in that cage? Also, why is there a 3-dot thing on me? Can I look at me? Oh no, it's the door.
Can't really see through the porthole, but it looks dense in there.
Keep clear at all times. Yeah, just yeah. You're fine, Jake. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Anything interesting in the desk?
There's about 2 inches
Documentation or anything? Apparently not. Although I can try searching it.
Empty.
Oh.
Not really surprising.
All right.
What in the ether is this thing?
I wouldn't get too close.
You have no room to talk, sir. You stand over there and mind your own damn business.
Some kind of console. Seems to connect to a few things.
Okay, 9207. I have a feeling I should note that
Is
down.
this some kind of combination or code?
Or maybe well, okay, I need another knob, but I was going to say maybe it just deals with these knobs. TT1. Didn't I, what, that piece of mail I got from the mailbox, didn't that say something about a TT-180?
February 12th, upon hearing when they after enduring one day with warm P.S. How you managed to rig a TT-180 console, control both your equipment and door mechanisms, still baffles me.
Okay, so there's the TT-180. So I need to find a knob for it, I guess.
Not much left. Some books and a broken device.
And we ain't gonna find a knob here, apparently. There's more to the lab over this way, it looks like. There's a toolbox up on the stairs.
Was into some strange things, wasn't he?
I'm starting to understand why he chose to do his work out in the middle of nowhere.
There's a toolbox up on the stairs, which doesn't look like we're gonna be able to reach as things are. Maybe we could swipe a knob off of this thing?
I get the impression this is what powers everything in here.
We just need to get it running again somehow.
Okay, maybe not. It says pull on, but I'm clicking over here, not on the switch, so I'm guessing the switch is the only thing we can deal with. Nice
This
little
must
comfy
be where
chair.
Clark parked his rear during his experiments.
Uh-huh. That bookcase looks empty. I'm guessing it is, because there's
May have held
no option
something
to inspect
interesting
it.
once, but now it's just lodging for spiders. Looks like a toolbox. What's it doing all the way up there?
Looks like there should be enough stairs to get up there, though, to at least be able to reach the
Way
toolbox.
too high for me.
Want me to give you a boost?
Nah, I still couldn't reach. I'll think of something else.
Seriously, what's the matter with the stairs right here? Alright, fine.
Anything interesting in there?
Not really. Probably why they were left behind.
I can't begin to fathom what these contraptions are for.
Nothing of use to us.
Okay, then.
I can't make heads nor tails of this chicken scratch.
Oh, hang on, can I... Never mind. I was going to ask if I could maybe take that stool and use that to reach the toolbox, but I can't even interact with it.
At least Dr. Clark practiced fire safety.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see through. The window is too grimy.
Oh, that's a window. Oh, hang on. Or maybe not. I was going to try and wipe it down, but never mind. Alright, what is this thing?
A wooden mannequin in a cage? I have so many questions.
You sure you want them answered?
Not particularly. Okay, can't look at that thing. This door's obviously going to be locked.
No handle.
Yeah. And I don't think that button works right now.
Looks like it's connected to the door somehow.
And that wire runs to the console back there.
Uh-huh.
Won't do us any good if there's nothing power in this place, though.
And also, we're still missing a knob.
Looks like some type of cannon, and it's pointing right at the cage.
I thought that was a light bulb. I didn't even see the little protrusion there. Oh, we can move the chair now.
Maybe this will help.
Was that option? Okay, never
Then
mind.
again, maybe not.
Maybe now we can interact with that stool?
Can we talk?
What's on? Because you know I've been wondering about the Otham. What do you suppose will happen to them now that they're armed with guns?
I don't know. I don't care. Can you help me with the toolbox?
I don't know. But at least they have a fighting chance now.
If Stokes attacks and they successfully fend him off, then perhaps he will leave them alone. But it will certainly not happen without bloodshed.
Probably not. In the meantime,
Well,
toolbox!
Best of luck to them.
Any clever ideas to get to that confounded box?
Not too many, I'm afraid.
Hang on, I've got an idea. Why don't you just shoot the box down?
Beg pardon?
Let's
Probably
put
too
that
heavy for that, isn't it?
gunslinging know-how of yours to work.
I may be a showman, but I ain't a performing monkey. It's as I said about those bottles. I never perform sharpshooting tricks without a crowd.
Can I borrow the arrowhead? Do I need to borrow the arrowhead?
Might I borrow that arrowhead for a spell?
By all means. Maybe it'll bring you some luck, too.
Okay.
Enough.
I've got an arrowhead now. Yay.
That's one sharp point. Jake ought to thank his lucky stars it didn't go a few inches lower.
Can I rip up the flag with it?
I hope this isn't considered treason.
Okay, I can.
A strip of cloth from a Vespuccian flag.
Which I now have for some reason. Phil, you got any ideas?
Hey, Phil, let's talk.
What about?
Can you think of any way to get that box down?
I'm afraid reaching high things has never been my forte.
Welp. Yeah, now that we got a chance, let's ask about him.
So how did you wind up here in Vespuccia?
That is a very long story, and I do not wish to relate it now. Perhaps another time?
Fair enough. How did you become so proficient with explosives?
The science of it always fascinated me. Even as a child, I read a great deal about mining and demolitions. The lessons were invaluable. So, when my parents sent me to university, I studied civil engineering. Most people do not realize just how much care must be taken when dealing with dynamite.
Oh.
Hang on. You have a university education?
Of course. Does this surprise you?
No, I just didn't think a revolutionary would have a degree.
Well, I do. From the Escuela Superior de Ingenieros in Madrid.
I have to ask, what went on at the Rosewater Post?
I wonder, where was this sense of curiosity when I was lying in the dust at your feet, eh?
Look, I'm real sorry about that. I had things to do, and I didn't know you from Adam. For all I knew, you deserved it.
Well, the world is full of people crying out for some relief or other. We cannot halt our affairs to save them all. But perhaps you will consider rendering aid to the next poor soul you meet who needs it.
Maybe.
Clark's lab is really quite something, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, something unnatural, something perverse. What possessed him to undertake this research is beyond me.
Right. Carry on.
I just noticed. Looks like there's a knob in whatever this control box is. But there's no option to interact with it other than looking at it. So much for that. I don't think I've tried going back to the fort since we've been back. Well, hell, I don't know if we can, because Captain Stokes will probably be there, and I don't know if we'll be able to, but still. May as well try in the interest of being thorough. Oh, hello. What is that? That's not the, Altham, is it? Hell, let's check it out. No, this is something entirely new. Nice outfit.
Dios mío, what is this abomination?
Howdy, folks. Interested in learning about Coltit's miracle elixir?
Of course we are, little lady.
Then step on over here.
Jake, what are you getting us into?
Special offer. Limited time only. 1 bottle for 5 crowns.
Uh-huh. What do these bottles do?
Boy, oh boy, I sure wish I was you.
Beg pardon?
Why, today's your lucky day.
Is that right?
Yes, sirree. You're just in time to experience the travesty of Xander Coltit III's miracle elixir.
The what now?
Did you just say...
I mean,
yeah, thank you.
The majesty of Xander Coltit III's miracle elixir.
I mean, granted, I think you were probably right the first time, but
Olivia Coltit,
I don't think you meant to say that.
answer all your questions about this evolutionary new medication.
Again, I think, yeah.
Are you sure you don't mean revolutionary new medication?
That's what I said.
It is not.
You want to hear about it or not?
It's close, but you missed a letter.
Fine, I'll bite. Tell me about this miracle elixir.
Glad you asked.
Oh, no.
From the maker of the widely popular Coltit's emulsified soporific comes Coltit's miracle elixir, the finest, most elective tonic in Vespuccia, guaranteed to treat and cure all illnesses from arthritis to yellow fever. And for a special limited time, we're selling it for the treasonable price of just 5 crowns.
Somebody needs to get this poor girl a dictionary.
Sounds pretty miraculous, all right. What's in this elixir, anyway?
Oh, I don't know. Daddy's the one who makes it. Oh, but I know he gets his secret ingredient from some lady named Ethel. He always talks about her when he makes a new batch.
I'm scared.
5 crowns seems a bit pricey. How about I give you 2 instead?
Sorry, ma'am. Daddy told me not to hackle.
Fine.
All right, give me a bottle.
Yay! Thanks, ma'am. How about your friends? Want 2 more for them?
No.
We'll share.
Oh, okay. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. And if we're gone by then, well, best of luck to you.
Yeah, that's nice.
You wouldn't happen to be related to a kid in Rosewater named Jem.
You do have similar fashion
No,
sense.
ma'am. Far as I know, I'm a lonely child.
Say, do you know anything about that lab over there?
No, but I did hear a big boom coming from that way. Was that your doing?
Nope.
No.
Oh, come on. You could tell me. I'm no tattler.
I said no. Now stop asking.
Fine, jeez.
Even if you were a tattler, you'd probably get the words wrong. Oh, hang on. Do I maybe need to use the arrowhead to unscrew these? I just noticed these screws look kind of prominent.
Let's see if this works.
Yeah. Okay. See where this gets us.
That did it.
Uh-huh. Well, I see a frayed wire. One that's fine. And this looks like it's got some kind of, I don't know, battery acid on it?
No wonder the power's not getting through. This wire's all corroded. Looks like something chewed through it.
Well, I don't think this would be the proper material to wrap it up or insulate it, would it? Apparently it would. Okay, so that's one taken care of. We've got to... will this cure what ails that?
Let's put some of this elixir to good use.
Not sure I want to know what was in there, but hey, we fixed it, I guess. Okay, so is this thing working now? Well, that's definitely a sound. Where's my cursor? Oh, hi.
Looks like Phil managed to get the door open.
I wonder if they found anything inside.
Yeah. Doesn't that make you just want to come in?
I'd say so, yes.
We are up and running.
Impressive.
This technology is amazing. What did this Clark fellow intend to do with such power?
I'm beginning to wonder about that myself.
Hey, you two,
job
can you help me
getting
with the
lights
toolbox?
back on.
Get everything squared with the Otham?
I think so.
They're adequately supplied. They should be well off for some time.
Well, I suppose we should see about...
Hello? Is someone in here?
Damn.
What?
Looks like we've attracted some attention.
I come in peace. Please, make yourself known.
Guess we don't have
Dude,
much
we
choice.
outnumber you. We should be saying that to you.
Hail!
Sup?
Goodness, I wasn't expecting so many of you.
And we weren't expecting anybody at all.
Terrific. Another one of these loons.
You think he's associated with that fella we met outside?
I am Paul Burkhart, emissary of the Luminarians.
Yeah.
What now?
We are disciples of Dr. Clark, protectors of his artifacts and legacy.
No kidding. So you must know all about him then.
Quite so.
You know, I think we've met one of these disciples already.
You must be referring to Samuel. He is quite protective of this place.
Yeah.
If you seek enlightenment, we will be glad to share our wisdom with you. But let us all return.
Can you enlighten me how to take
We must
that
not
toolbox down?
defile the sanctity of this place. Come, I am eager to learn about you all.
We're not tool. The knob. Okay, we're going.
Welcome to Chrysalis, friends. Feel free to explore,
Thank you.
converse with the residents. You'll find we have much to offer.
Can I
We'll
feel free to
speak
go back to where I
soon.
was? Because I wasn't finished.
What an accommodating fella.
This is all very strange. You all might be into this porqueria, but I want no part of it. I am going back to the lab.
Suit yourself. All right, let's see what we can learn about where Clark's stash might be. But let's not overplay our hand, shall we? If anybody asks, our interest is purely academic.
I'm really not a
My
good
interest is
liar, Mr.
purely that
Adam.
toolbox.
Shoot, nobody's asking you to lie, Sugar. Just withhold certain details. We're interested in learning about Clark. That's all there is to it. Come on, Danny. Let's see where our friend's gone off to.
I know lying doesn't come natural to some. For others, it's like breathing. Don't take this amiss, but if you'd like some pointers, sometimes it's good to be able to keep certain things to yourself you don't want everybody and his uncle to know.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, that would help.
Make sure you don't break eye contact. Shifty eyes are a telltale sign of dishonest intent.
You seem to have a lot of experience in these matters.
I hope none of these pointers are going to come back to bite me. Again, Harley doesn't seem this type.
Maybe, but I only lie when it's necessary.
You find it necessary to lie?
Sure, at times. To save my skin. You don't?
I haven't needed to.
Lucky you. Hope that keeps working out for you. But if anyone asks what you were up to the day when, say, a wagon got raided outside Rosewater, a little capacity for dissimulation might be handy to have.
Your advice is appreciated. I'll just see what I can find out on my own.
So, can I go back to the lab? Looks like I can. But, other than turning the power on, I don't really think I can do much there, since I still can't get the toolbox. I still don't have anything that could be fashioned into a knob, I don't think. So I guess I may as well look around here.
If the smell's anything to go by, that crate's full of fertilizer.
Guess we'll leave that alone. Nice looking hat. Can I take it? Apparently not.
Not very intimidating. No wonder the crops are bare.
So we got a rostrum that way and a kitchen that way. Let's take a look at the barn or maybe not. Doesn't look like we can even go to the barn.
Suppose that's where the animals are kept.
Alright. So Danny and Jake went that way. We'll catch up with them later. Let's head this way to the kitchen, I guess. See if Nadine's turning anything up. Oh, is that our friend with the tinfoil hat?
This
Also-
isn't much use with a wheel missing. Handle still looks good, at least.
Okay, we'll take the handle then, but why does the outdoor kitchen have portal on it? And apparently we can't take the handle.
This isn't much use with a
Maybe we have to put the wheel back on it, and then we could use the whole thing. Hi, friend.
Well, well, if it isn't my old friend.
The Defiler returns.
Hey now, don't get your britches in a twist.
You're a guest of Emissary Paul, so I'm obliged to welcome you. But if you continue casting your shadows of discord over all that is bright here, there will be consequences.
It's all I got. Nobody uses Skype anymore.
Now just where do you get off saying I'm casting shadows of discord or whatever?
I caught you trespassing outside the laboratory. Then your friend blasted the door off.
It was all in the name of research. I'm just as interested in all this as you.
You've a peculiar way of showing it.
Doesn't mean it's invalid.
Did you ever have a chance to meet Dr. Clark?
No, nor did I desire to.
No?
Ethericity is not a power to be trifled with. I've no interest in meeting someone who treats it as a plaything.
Where did Dr. Clark end up?
Not where he should have.
Okay.
Do you know any details about Dr. Clark's research?
He was toying with fire, pure and simple. He may have been
No, he was
inspired
toying
and
with
driven to his
ethericity.
work by the luminous ones, but he was only their tool. He did not acknowledge their undeniable glory or show them the proper respect. He took a battering ram to the door of heaven. When they tired of the noise, they whisked him away inside the gates, while the rest of us still wait outside.
So what you're saying is, you don't actually know.
I've underestimated you. I didn't think there could be someone more arrogant than Dr. Clark.
Damn.
What's so special about this place that they've got you standing guard?
This building houses our collection of artifacts salvaged from Dr. Clark's laboratory.
Oh,
Sounds
so you're
like
the
I'm gonna
ones
need
who
to get in
looted
there.
the place.
We did not loot it. We saved important items from obscurity and decay.
Nah, you looted it.
Think I might take a quick peek?
Absolutely not. Outsiders are forbidden.
So how does one go about joining your little club?
You think if you joined us that I would just suddenly allow you to enter?
Sure, you said only outsiders were forbidden.
See?
Nice try, but not on my watch.
Well, damn.
What if I brought you a new artifact for your collection?
Then I would be very surprised. We've already
Excuse me.
retrieved everything of value from the laboratory.
Even from that locked room?
That room is inaccessible. Do not even consider attempting to breach it.
Why? Just because you can't?
So what brought you to Chrysalis?
My personal business is none of yours.
Touchy. I'll leave you to your guarding. Try not to die of boredom.
Okay, then. Nadine, you having any better luck?
Nadine, could we have a word?
Of course.
You enjoying yourself here?
These are good people. I'm glad we met them.
You
Yeah,
don't
well,
find
some
them
of them.
a bit odd?
I'll admit, I don't quite comprehend their philosophical ideas, but they've welcomed us with open arms.
Well,
The
most
least
of
we
them.
can do is offer open minds.
Any ideas as to how to get that fellow over there away from his post?
And maintain eye contact?
Afraid this situation's a bit more
It's
complicated.
good, though.
than
You were
that.
paying attention.
Still good advice, though. I'll leave you to your conversation.
You're trying. You're trying. Points for effort.
Excuse me?
Ah, hello. You must be one of Miss Redbird's companions.
That's right. Harley Legere.
My name is Evan. Evan Holbrook. Welcome to Chrysalis.
Evan was just showing me the cookhouse. You know they grow or raise everything they eat here themselves?
Well, mostly. Sometimes we need to resupply from town, but we aim to be fully self-reliant.
Uh-huh.
Our dedication will be rewarded with bounty.
If you're so self-reliant, why are you advertising Aperture Industries?
So, are you the biscuit roller for this community, or what?
Not quite. Everyone in Chrysalis does their part. It's my day on the rota to fix breakfast.
Do you have a doctor?
We have a few skilled in healing, yes. I do wish we had more knowledge of agriculture. Our crops haven't been thriving like we hoped.
You said your crops weren't doing well. Why not?
Getting the irrigation in this year saved some of the crop, but we're facing lean times. We simply must find a way to grow enough to feed everyone.
Mm-hmm.
What's your story, Evan? How did you join up with these folks?
Well, like many of the others here, I was living in New Britannia. My wife was there at the etheric demonstration at the expo. I thought I'd lost her forever, but emissary Paul found me and explained how she hadn't perished, merely transcended.
Oh,
At
boy.
first, I didn't believe him. I wanted to throttle him, actually.
Why didn't you?
I can understand that reaction.
But I realized that in my grief, I had become blinded.
Yeah.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Ah, don't be. One day I'll transcend too, and we'll be reunited in the ether.
Okay. Interesting.
Something about that makes my skin crawl.
Is this supposed to be the outhouse? Who's your friend, Jake?
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Ah, Harley. Miss Larkin here was just telling me about this fascinating place.
Hello and welcome. It's so nice to have visitors.
Thanks, but I was hoping to have a word with Jake in private.
Of course.
What's on your mind?
Very private, yeah.
I think I've found a promising lead. There's a shack on the other side of the commune full of things salvaged from Clark's lab. Only problem is it's being guarded by that first luminarian we met.
Well, the feller with the tinfoil chapeau?
Very same.
Very same. How can I get past him?
He's a peculiar one, but he seems to be the most reverent of these folk. Perhaps you could win him over with a peace offering. There might still be something in the lab that's been overlooked.
Yeah, Harley kind of thought of that idea too. So it might be worth heading back to the lab, seeing maybe if Phil's got any ideas.
So, what have you picked up from these fine folks?
This ethericity stuff is much more complex than I thought. Seems our friend Dr. Clark may have been on to something after all.
I'll just leave you to it then.
Let's see, got some butterflies over there. Water tower. Can't go anywhere else from here, it doesn't look like. Danny, what you got going on?
Hey, Danny?
What's going on?
I was wondering if you might help me out with something.
What?
There's a toolbox inside Clark's lab that's out of reach, and I've had no luck getting it down. Think you might put your pistols to the task?
I could do that. Yeah. You want to go right now?
Hell yeah!
Yes, let's head over now.
Fuck you, Jake!
Sure thing. Just lead the way.
Ah, Phil. There you are.
Had enough of those luminous lunatics too, did you?
Yeah, for the time
Not
being.
entirely. Danny's come to help get that box down. That's it, up there.
Right. You might want to stand over on this side, Phil.
Nice shot.
Nice.
Thanks, Harley. Happy to help. So, what's inside that box that's so important anyway?
Guess we all
No
get
idea.
to find out together.
Hope we didn't damage it. So note to self, next time I need something
There's more
shot,
than
talk to
one way
Danny,
to
not
get a
Jake.
box open.
Well, anything good inside?
Not really. Just a wrench and this odd dial thing.
That's what I
hope It
needed!
was worth the trouble then.
Yes, it
That
was!
was good practice, at least. I'm heading back to Chrysalis. See you both later.
Yeah, have fun. Alright. Let's get this box up and running. Out of the way, Phil. Do. Boink. Alright. Oh, nope. 9 2 0.
It won't turn.
7. Nice.
Phil, you might want to...
Yeesh. Totally forgot about that thing.
move. Are you all right?
I think so. The cage seems to have absorbed all that energy. Just warn me before you try that again.
So, this console operates equipment by setting the dials in a 4-digit sequence. That means we need to figure out the right code to get the door open.
Okay. That was not what I expected at all.
Any ideas what the code for the door might be?
It could be anything. Are you intending to guess it?
Unless I find it written somewhere, I don't see any other way.
Santa Maria, that could take months. If what is behind that door is so important, then the code itself must be something meaningful to Clark. Maybe you can deduce it by learning more about him. I am certain those payasos at the commune will have plenty to share.
Yep. It sounded like
Right.
that's our only
Carry on.
only option. Oh well, back to
I will
Chrysalis.
stay in here.
Don't blame you. Well, let's listen to the dude that apparently knows all about Clark and his shenanigans.
They're really fond of this butterfly.
That's not what I wanted.
My friends, today we give thanks for our manifold blessings. On this day of celebration, the Evocator's Day of Transcendence. And why do we celebrate today, on the 8-month anniversary? Because 1 is nothing special. 1 is an isolating, selfish, lowly number. But 8 is perfection. 8 is infinity. 8 is the flap of the butterfly's wings. On this day in March of this year, exactly 8 months ago, the luminous ones called Evocator Bennett up to join them in the luminiferous ether. In so doing, they showed us the path of light, where soon we all shall follow. Now our soul sibling Bennett dwells among them in the etheric realm beyond this earth, in a transcendent union of cosmic harmony and peace.
This day in March. This isn't from today, is it? June 9th, 1847. No. Because right now is 1850.
October 25th, 1850. Dear Miss Leger, thank you for submitting your sample. I'd like to extend an
Okay, that doesn't help.
February 12th, 1850.
That doesn't help either.
With
Okay, so I'm thinking the door code is going to be 3-something-50. Wait a minute, no. That would make sense. Because that would be the day Clark died, wouldn't it? And Phil said the door code would be something important to Phil, or to Clark. Okay. Hang on. June 9th, 1847. This wouldn't be 8 months ago. Is it just all 8s?
Here in Chrysalis, at the Evocator's laboratory, his holy temple, the veil has been parted. And on the other side, the luminous ones are waiting to welcome us home. When he first arrived here, in that twice blessed year, for never forget that 8 is the most sacred number, Evocator Bennett perhaps did not yet know that he was building a temple. But that is what it was, my friends. A temple, a lighthouse, a shining beacon in the dark, a divine instrument that would pierce the cosmic veil, letting the ether's light shine through to guide us, calling the luminous ones, calling us here, calling us home. We will never forget the momentous occasion when this holy work began, when Evocator Bennett came west after the Lamplight City miracle to break ground for a new laboratory. And he raised a light to the heavens and cried, "Let me in!" And 2 years later, his call was answered, and he was taken up into the etheric realm.
Okay. So maybe whatever happened was in 1848 that we need to worry about.
Friends, it is joyous. The ether is a realm of pure thought and light and love. There we are freed from these coarse material bonds. There we are not women and men, not young and old, not poor and rich, not white and black and brown. There we exist as pure souls, glittering beings of brilliant rainbow color. Our bodies are as the chrysalides of butterflies, curled up tight in these fleshly shells. Contained within each of us is our true etheric form. And believe me, friends, it is beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
We free
Get to some numbers.
2 years ago, Evocator Bennett called them here. And 8 months ago, his call was answered.
Okay, so 2 years ago it'll be 1848. 8 months ago is March. So 3-something-48.
I've had about as much. Hey.
What's going on?
If you had to pick a 4-digit number sequence that was easy to remember, what would you pick?
Suppose it'd be something important? A date, maybe? Or a memorable year? Never really thought about it.
Or maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe it's just 1848.
So, what's our friend on stage been jabbering about?
What hasn't he? This guy makes Jake seem like a silent monk by comparison. Anyway, it's mostly been about Clark, his etheric research in New Britannia, how he built his lab out here after the Expo disaster. Excuse me, miracle, that sort of thing. He says Clark transcended. I'm not sure what that means.
I don't know, but it doesn't sound good. I'll leave you to the begging your pardon.
How may I help?
What is it you do around here?
Plenty. But my particular gift is all the murals and paintings you see around the commune are my work.
And a fine job you've done.
Why, thank you.
Must have kept you busy for a while.
Quite. There's still so much I'm looking forward to doing.
What's the meaning behind those shadow paintings?
We commemorate those who have transcended, and those who will.
I'm guessing the butterfly means something too?
Very astute. Yes, the butterfly represents the immortal soul, the essence of a person in their fullest flourishing. The butterfly is pure potential, contained within those who have not yet transcended. Once someone has passed into the ether, it is released and flies free.
Why, that's mighty poetical.
It does not, however, help me with the code.
Quite a bold, brilliant butterfly stirring within you.
You don't say. You see that, do you?
If you permit me, it would be my honor to paint it. Only if you're willing, of course. Everyone's journey to transcendent readiness is unique.
Perhaps you could tell me more about it once Harley's done talking.
With pleasure.
Oh, Harley's done talking, believe me. Oh. Hey.
Damn.
Nicely done.
It was just the ear. Cool.
Well, nothing horrible came out, shall we?
After you.
Yay. Whoa.
Santo cielo.
What in the ether happened in here?
I do not know, but I am not going in any further.
Don't blame you.
Completely overgrown.
Probably for the best.
Anything I can pick up? What is this?
That mannequin's head fell over here and has been wrapped up by a tomato vine.
Wonder if that would interest, what's his name, guard in the museum or whatever it
This might be of
is.
interest to our friends in Chrysalis.
See, anything else we can look at or pick? Oh, plenty of things.
I've never seen anything like that before. Have you?
Nope, and I never want to see anything like it again.
Oh, come on, where's your scientific interest?
Ripe and juicy tomatoes. How can they grow without any soil?
Easy. Devilry.
These squashes look healthy.
I thought they were pears.
This pumpkin is thriving, despite being sealed in here with no water or sunlight.
There is something very unnatural about all this.
These mannequins are disturbingly lifelike. This one's missing its head. I wonder how that happened.
I can die happy never finding out.
Okay, we get it, Phil. You're not interested. Go away.
This one's posed like it's reaching for something.
Clark's research involved playing with life-size dolls? Que locura!
I suppose I have anything I can give it, do I? No. Not unless it wants a wrench. Alright. Let's go see if our friend at Chrysalis wants a tomato-wrapped head. Hail, friend. I bring you produce-wrapped gifts.
Have a look at this.
What? Where did this come from?
Clark's lab. His test room, to be precise.
You were able to get inside?
Sure was. It was full of plants and all kinds of weird equipment. The ethericity seems to have boosted the growth of the seeds somehow. It's like a jungle in there.
I cannot condone your reckless disregard for the sanctity of the laboratory.
Uh-huh.
I also cannot deny the importance of this discovery.
You gotta let me
Alert
in.
Emissary Paul immediately.
Close enough.
I'd better be quick. No telling when that chump might come back.
Okay. Search that to start with.
Bottles of different colors. Nothing helpful.
Wonder if maybe I should have saved first.
More scrawled nonsense. Why would they keep this?
Any interesting books?
Let's see. Books on science, engineering, astronomy. I'm sure this is all fascinating, but it's not going to help me any.
What's this doohickey do? Nothing I can do.
It somewhat resembles a telegraph, but what is this box for? It's some...
Who knows?
The things some people will keep for posterity, I'll never understand.
Okay then. Search these things.
Even more books in here. Some novels, poetry books, and what's this? Looks like a diary.
Haha. Oh, hi.
I should have known.
Well, I hope I got all I needed.
Get out of here this instant, degenerate!
Why, can I not be interested in things?
Don't you dare try any more trickery, or Emissary Paul will hear of it.
Can I not be
found what I was
interested
looking
in
for.
learning more about your evocator or whatever the fuck you call Clark? Alright. Let's see what we found.
I should probably get out of Beardy's sight.
Yeah, good point.
The final entry is bookmarked with a letter. Definitely worth a read. But first...
Okay, March 13th, 1845. I'm embarking on a new project, which means a new journal. Here I will record my notes and observations from a series of experiments on the generation and application of etheric energy. I believe it can be profitably harvested from the very air and harnessed for an immense number of beneficial uses. I see the streets of Lamplight City aglow, not with the smoky flicker of flame from burning costly oil, but with bright etheric light from lamps that never need fuel. I see compact, efficient etheric engines replacing the bulky and limited diffusion generators that drive Her Majesty's airships. I see our nation's mills and manufactories humming, kept in motion not with the sweat of the brow or the belching fumes of coal fires, but with the clean, abundant power of ethericity. The applications are limitless, but before they can be realized, I must turn my attention to the practical problem of efficient generation, not to mention safe, reliable storage. Even if energy can be summoned from the atmosphere on demand, some intermediate storage device will be necessary to absorb the excess and release it in a controlled fashion. Absent such a mechanism to modulate the unpredictable flow of raw power, the effect would be akin to cooking one's breakfast by exploding a stick of dynamite. Hey, Phil would like that. Tomorrow I must visit Cunningham's to order glass tubes and ampules, as he always takes weeks to deliver. I hope he also has magnetite on hand in sufficient quantity so I can start experimenting with it right away. But I will try the iron filings first if not. Down to last spool of copper wire must pick up more, and I must stop by the offices of the Gazette soon to circulate an advertisement for a new assistant in the weekend edition. Much to do. January 19th, 1846. This is... wow, like a lot of months later. Like 10, I think. Some days the work has been maddeningly slow, and some days it seems we advance by leaps and bounds. I am kept too busy to think often of writing in this journal, yet I have made notable progress. I have built the first prototype capable of harvesting ambient etheric potential and channeling it to produce energy. In this instance, heat. There is as yet no flow regulation mechanism, so the entire energy yield feeds directly into a copper heating element suspended within a water-filled cylinder affixed with a thermometer. The top is left open to vent the steam, which is frequently produced in abundance. In future, naturally, the entire heating coil steam tube apparatus will be replaced with another assemblage capable of converting the ethericity into useful energy to generate light, say, or mechanical motion. The prototype does not appear capable as yet of generating heat beyond the material's tolerance. However, I have reached the limits of this particular configuration without hazarding a face full of superheated steam and shattered glass. I cannot say with confidence even now that a random harmonic flux in the atmosphere could not cause a sudden spike of etheric energy that would produce such a result. Now that the principle is proven, we must experiment with introducing a regulator to throttle and control the flow for both safety and practicality. There remains the not inconsequential matter of funding. It has taken longer than anticipated to reach even this early milestone. Beyond the initial outlay for equipment, I had not accounted for the necessity of covering rent on the old Turnbull Street storehouse, nor the wages of my assistant Frank for so long a term. I have already removed from Mrs. Gladstone's modest but comfortable lodgings to the garret over the storehouse, a move which has proved economical as regards both money and time, if rather less satisfactory in the matter of board. I fear I did not give Miss Gladstone's Sunday roasts quite the credit I now realize, in want of them, was their due. Despite the savings thereby afforded, my meager reserves will soon be depleted at this rate, unless I can induce a benefactor to relieve me of these pecuniary obligations. November 6th. At Frank's instigation, I have embarked on a program of fortnightly public demonstrations of our apparatus. A brief lecture on the principles of ethericity, followed by a practical display of the generator's operation, is offered to all comers, or as many as will fit within the storehouse free of charge. I confess that at first I regarded this pageantry as a distraction from the work, a senseless bit of spectacle to dazzle the simple tradesfolk and laborers who occupy this district. However, Frank persuaded me that attracting an investor would require some measure of transparency as to my research, and while it is true that most who attend my presentations come seeking thrills rather than any intellectual or financial engagement, putting on these shows has allowed word to spread, and some are beginning to take notice. Last month's published proceedings of the Vespuccian Royal Society of Natural Philosophy contained a mention of rumors of research into the generation of etheric power by a Mr. Clark of Turnbull Street. I leave aside that they misspelled my name and omitted my title. Not everyone can pay society dues and have their credentials indelibly observed, but they know enough of my work to have it spoken of in those lofty chambers of knowledge and opportunity, and that is what matters. And since they did accurately remark the address of my laboratory, perhaps one or two of those learned gentlemen might be persuaded to visit and see my work for themselves. I shall pen a letter to the Society Secretary at once. February 2nd, 1847, with the introductions and encouragement lately extended by Dr. Nethersole, second vice president of the VRS&P, I have secured connections sufficient to gain my place in an etheric pavilion to be installed at the Lamplight City Global Expo this very summer, where I'm sure nothing at all will go horribly wrong. Not only will I have the opportunity to demonstrate my etheric generator before a grand public audience, as a condition of my participation, Harmon and Grove, chief sponsors of the exhibit, have tasked me with consulting on the design of the pavilion, in terms of requirements as to technical equipment, layout, accommodations for visitors, tens of thousands expected, and so forth. There is so much to be done to prepare. Tuning of the flow generator remains the utmost priority. We still have some month left to resolve the superheating issue. Have high hopes for the finer gauge electrum filament. It strikes me that whatever investments and explorations these firms have heretofore conducted in the sphere of ethericity, there are really very few individuals to whom they might turn who have any measure of practical experience extending beyond the realm of pure theory. And yet I had to go begging, hat in hand, to them for the opportunity to take part in their exhibition. Absent my generator, which can produce energy at a fraction of the cost of electricity, and with none of the polluting infrastructure, there would be nothing to present in their pavilion but promises and fairy stories of a future not yet in evidence. But I must not bristle at indignities, and be grateful for my good fortune. At last, the world will see the power of ethericity revealed. June 6th, 1847. Hey, my negative 139th birthday. No, I didn't have to find a calculator to work that out. For that joke, that was totally worth it. Ignore the jump cut. Let's just move on. Horrors beyond uttering. I can hardly bring myself to write them here. Frank. Poor Frank. Your mother will not open the door to me, and I cannot say I fault her for that. I will send her your 3 months' wage by post. A paltry sum for a life, but all I have to offer. June 8th. I have spent the past 2 days sealed in Turnbull Street. Every waking moment spent checking and rechecking my prototypes and consulting my research notes, seeking any error or miscalculation. What went wrong? The flow regulator had exhibited irregularities before, but all within tolerance. Nothing on the scale of that. The police will neither return nor allow me to access the remains of the exhibition model. If only I could inspect it, I might find the manufacturing flaw or defect in material that caused the catastrophe. Or, though I shudder to turn my thoughts in this direction, perhaps some sign of sabotage. There are many who would delight to see me fail. Angry crowds dog my steps whenever I venture beyond my door, reinforcing my voluntary seclusion. At every moment I expect the constables to arrive with irons. I have a growing suspicion that some handsome sum was discreetly paid by one of the sponsors to suppress public scandal associated with the event. If so, I am by happenstance the fortunate beneficiary of those maneuverings and owe to them my present liberty. But what use is my liberty without my work? There on stage at the pavilion, I felt myself briefly a colossus of science standing astride the world, with a shining future spread out before me. Now it is all crumbled in one blinding burst of light. September 21st, 1847. The inquest is complete, and my name cleared. I bear no formal responsibility for the deaths at the Expo, in the eyes of the city of New Britannia, at least. Her people are not so gracious. The Labourites in Parliament are taking advantage of the public furor to press all the more stridently for a blanket ban on etheric research, which I am certain the Prime Minister will be all too glad to sign into law. I am aware of a dark irony in the fact that my exoneration in the matter has likely only lent strength to their arguments. For if I am not some murderous monster guilty of horrific malpractice, then ethericity itself must be dangerously unstable and unsafe, beyond the power of any man to control. Fools! If they but knew what miraculous possibilities they foreclose with their ignorance and fear. Sometimes a scientific truth emerges, which the world is not yet ready to hear. Was not Galileo denounced as a heretic in his day, only to be vindicated by generations yet unborn? I have no idea how to pronounce that. It's been years since high school Latin. It is clear that whatever I am to do next, I cannot do it here. I must leave the city. I will go west. Even if total prohibition becomes the law of the land, law's hold is somewhat looser at the nation's virgin fringes, far from the grand maison and the chambers of Parliament. The desert has traditionally offered refuge to visionaries and hermit eccentrics. I can continue my work there, away from the throngs. I have come too far and glimpsed too much to give up now. The road of progress was never a smooth one. I have tumbled over a tremendous stumbling block, but I will pick myself up and carry on. Ad occidentum. January 16th, 1848. My new laboratory, my hermitage, my sanctuary of science in the wilderness is complete. Moving out here has been an adjustment for want of the various municipal amenities upon which I was accustomed to rely. My resourcefulness has been sorely tried. For ample hydration, for bodily needs as well as for hydraulic pressure and cooling of my apparatus, I have been obliged to construct a rudimentary water tower. Even the illumination which, living in Lamplight City, I had taken for granted, I must now provide, and I have taken to dipping my own candles with spare wax and cotton thread. These labors I undertake alone, unwilling to venture so far as engaging another assistant. But solitude was the point of this relocation, was it not? I do believe the desert climate agrees with me. I have certainly found it more conducive to work without interruptions at all hours, and the San Bernardo Valley vistas offer quite an inspiring change from the clogged alleys and foggy horizons of New Britannia. I am not wholly severed from my fellow man. The small settlement of Rosewater is but a short distance away, should I need to call upon any of civilization's necessities. While I was timid of my reception at first, I have found the people here rather more open-minded than those back east, and I have begun giving occasional lectures and demonstrations for small audiences. If these simple-hearted frontier folk can yet be won over and taught to admire and yearn for the transformative potential of ethericity, then perhaps there is hope for the rest of the nation, in time. In the desert I am made anew. My sins are wiped clean by scouring sands. I begin again. May 24th, 1849. The fools! They have done it! They have sliced off their own nose and stamped upon it as it lay bleeding in the dust for spite. Our Prime Minister, having won re-election in defiance of all decency and good sense, has moved swiftly to deliver on his campaign promises and signed a total and immediate ban on all practical research, experimentation, and development of etheric technology. It is a dark age we live in, and thanks to Leroy and those Labourite technophobes, it will stay that way. It is not yet clear what the repercussions will be out here, so far from the halls of power. I have no wish to tempt fate, and I have ceased all public display of my work. But will they remember the mad Dr. Clark, the erstwhile wizard of ethericity and his self-imposed desert exile? Will they come looking for me? Like a scuttling bug, I must keep to the shadows and hope to escape notice. It is the only way forward. One day I hope to deliver the fire of ethericity to man, to lift him up from darkness and keep him in comfort and splendor. For this deed I can but hope that my punishment will be less severe than that which Prometheus endured. My work continues. And now, after all that, for this.
February 9th, 1850.
Oh good, my voice gets a break.
That's only 9 months ago.
Clark, I have a business proposal. Relinquish that dusty laboratory in the middle of nowhere. Come to El Presidio. You may stay in my suite at the Jolly Good Club. My Orem Star membership and military rank afford me certain privileges.
Captain
You
Stokes.
will be furnished with the comforts owing to a man of your intellect and accomplishments.
It's signed L.
P.S. You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room. One of the aforementioned perks.
Interesting. Jake will want to see this.
Stokes' first name doesn't begin with an L, does it? Because that sure sounded like him. Jake, what the fuck?
What in the ether is going on here?
Miss Larkin was kind enough to offer to paint my shadow.
In the altogether?
Well, didn't want to get my clothes dirty.
Besides, I paint.
Where the fuck are your
The
clothes?
subject must bear himself and discard all excess.
Read this.
Hey, Jake. I've got something to show you.
So, show me.
I'd prefer to...
Just as long as you don't show me.
Can't it wait? I'm a mite indisposed at the moment.
It's to do with what we've been looking for.
Ah, well, in that case, excuse me a moment, won't you, darling? All right, what do you got?
I found Clark's journal. Have a look at this letter that was inside.
An invitation to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio?
Yep. Check the date.
9 months ago. Ah, nice sleuthing, Harley. Let's round up the others and say our goodbyes. We need to plan our next steps.
Leaving us so soon? But you've only just arrived.
We appreciate the hospitality, but it's time we moved on.
Why did we have to drag Phil back here?
Continue, then so be it. But we cannot thank you enough for your discovery of Evocata Bennett's etheric cultivator, Miss Leger. Once we relocate and configure the equipment, our crops will surely flourish.
That's great to hear. I hope you'll all be well fed this winter.
Know that you will always
Yeah, I suppose we could have helped them with their food problems.
Farewell, my friend.
Odd bunch of folks, but quite charming in their way.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
There is a strange kind of peacefulness about this place.
That's a fine way of putting it. Anyhow, let's get to the crux of the matter. Harley turned up Clark's diary.
More importantly, I found a letter inside inviting him to the Jolly Good Club in El Presidio. It was dated 9 months ago.
That's right about the time he disappeared, isn't it?
It is indeed. I'd say it's obvious that the good doctor accepted the invitation.
And took his money with him?
Well, it ain't here or in his lab. And
Fair
what's
point.
that postscript in the letter say, Harley?
You needn't have any concern for your valuables, as there is ample secure storage in the room.
Don't get much clearer than that.
It just says there's secure storage. It doesn't say there was anything in it.
So we're following him to El Presidio? That's a long way from here. We sure this isn't going to be a dead end?
You saw for yourself right there in black and white. Clark went to El Presidio, and so we go where the trail leads us. First and foremost, we need some transportation.
You haven't got any? Don't you tour around?
Sure, but our show wagon ain't gonna fit all of us.
Plus, we'll need it to store
Phil
all
can
the
ride on the
show's
roof.
props and equipment while we're gone. There's that lady in town with the wagon, though. Heard her talking at the saloon once. Said she hires it out to travelers.
Sounds promising. Who is she?
Her name's Lola Johnson. I think she stays in the old blacksmith shop.
Oh, shit.
Lola Johnson. Huh?
You know her?
Not personally. I've heard of her.
Yeah, kind of.
We should head back to Rosewater, no?
No hurry. We don't need to. Oh, boy. This is going to be interesting.